T. Clark here, and this video is on the AP Computer Science A 2022 FRQ number 3B. So 3B is the pretty difficult one. So we have to write the collect comments method, which will collect and format the comments that contain an exclamation mark. So we have to go through the array, see where there's an exclamation mark, and then return a specifically formatted string. Not return it, we have to get that string, add it to a list, an array list, and then return that array list. Okay, so we return that array list of strings containing copies of the comments that contain an exclamation mark. So we have, so if there's nothing there, it'll be empty. So we only add to it the list if there's something there. So the string will be the index. So it looks like it's 0. And the example is 0 right there, and then 2, and then 3. So we don't even need the rating for this one. So we're just using the index, and then a hyphen, and then the comment, and then you have to see if there's a period or exclamation mark. If there's not, you have to add a period. So you have to add it, make sure there's a period there, so that like there here it thinks there's a period added. Great, already had exclamation marks, we didn't have to add it. Bad, had a period, we don't add an extra period, so we have to check to see what that last letter or the last character is. And it's guaranteed to be, if I remember, it said way back when, the comment is either a period, the last character is either a period, exclamation mark, or letter. So you could use see if it's a letter if you know those methods for strings. It'll be one of those 3 things, but I'll use the exclamation mark or the period. And so I need to, so get that array list. So first things first, get rid of this. I see that it has to be an array list of strings. So first thing I put is an array list of strings. And I'll call it my results list equals, and whenever I make an array list, it has to be a new array list. And I'll just use a shortcut, arrow brackets and parentheses, so that's valid now with the most modern Java, so that works. If you wanted to, you could have put a string in here, so you could do that, but it's easier just to leave it like that. Okay, so now I want to loop through that array. So for int I equals 0, I less than, what was it called again? All reviews dot length, because it's an array, so we're looping through the array. I'm going to add to the array list. So I'm going to add to the array list if it's an exclamation mark. So I'm going to see if there's an exclamation mark in the current string. Okay, so I need to get that current string. So the current string was the comment. So I'm going to use that get comment method. So from way back when. So I'm going to say string, I guess C for comment equals all review. Oh, all reviews. I've got the S right there. And I want to access the current element. And then I want to access that element's comment. And I just use a 1 letter because it's easier to write when I'm doing paper or writing. So let's go back to the page I was at. So again, you'd be shuffling through papers on the exam. That's fine. It's hard to keep them in order. Just make sure you have the number. And when you start a new problem, you're on the right number, and they're in order. You don't lose any papers when you're shuffling through. So it says I want to see if it's a exclamation mark. So I'm going to see if that C has index of exclamation mark. So it has to be greater than or equal to 0. So if it exists in the string, I would use the string dot index of whatever character, and if it's a valid index, so it's greater than or equal to 0. And that means it's there. So if it's there, I'm going to set up my result string. And what it equals the index. So index is I. So index is I, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's my I. Then immediately followed by a colon, no spaces, and then followed by copy of the original comment, and that's just C. So there's my result. Okay, and I want to make sure I add it, so I'm going to add it to my results. Dot add result list. I'm not done yet. I'm going to add some stuff in here, but I'm going to add the stuff I know I can get. Result return results. So be careful if you're using an S for your list and then not an S for their value, because you want to return the correct one. So I'm returning the one with the S. I'm returning the one that I have on that first line. So I'm returning it to the last line. So I always want to make sure I match the first and last line, triple check at the end. Okay, so now I have to take care of this part right here. The string must end with either a period or an exclamation mark. I could do an if statement that says, okay, if it's not an exclamation mark and it's not a period, I would add a period. But first thing I need to do is I need to get that last character. So the last character is going to be c.substring c.length -1. If I could type. Okay, I'll move this over so I have all my stuff on one line. So remember, the last character is at length -1, and then the substring of that last character. I could have just done char at, and well, yeah, this is better. Substrings are usually better. So c.substring, the length -1 to get the last character. Okay, then I want to see, okay, is the last character not an exclamation mark, or is it not a period? So if ever you have a set of characters you're trying to look for or not look for, so I'm looking for an exclamation mark and a dot. And I'm seeing if the last character is in this group of characters. So I could have done this with like vowels, I could have done A, E, I, O, U, or certain letters. So if I'm trying to find if it's in there or if it's not in there, so again, if it's in there, it's greater than or equal to 0. If it's not there, that means it's less than or equal to 0. So this means if the last character is not a period or an exclamation mark, then I'm going to add to my result that period. What the heck did I just do? I always have my cursor over when I'm typing. It's kind of hard, sorry. So yeah, so my result is everything and then maybe an extra period if I need to, like I did right here. So this one should work. So that should be all of it. So let's get this back and see if I got it correct. I got some errors. Oh, index of, I fail. Index of, I need to learn how to index of, finish my typing. Okay, it looks like that the two, the blue one is static printing and the yellow or the white one is good. So let's see what happens if so another way to do it, instead of having to try this clever way, you could have said if the last one is not equal to an exclamation mark, or the last one is not equal to a period. So I guess you could have done it that way. That's a good way to do it since there's only two of them. And then did it work out? Yeah, I got that period added. Oh, it added right there as well. Maybe it has to be an and. Oh, I failed. So it has to be both of them. There we go. So if you want to do it, so it can't equal exclamation mark, and it can't equal a period. But again, I prefer this way to do it, using index of. Index of is very powerful. You'll use that almost every year on the AP FRQs. Yeah, but that's it for 3B.